Conversations with Ren and Kim.
I am Ren.
And I'm Kim, and there's no other place to be but right here, right now.
Pretty excited, Kimberly, for the first episode. I mean, this is the start of a very interesting season that we have planned and prepped for you guys. We are just so excited that, you guys are coming along with us on this journey.
Yeah, and Renata, it's been a journey.
It has been indeed, Kimberly, but lots of conversations to be had. We have a lot of interesting guests lined up, etc. So I'm really looking forward to this. What about you?
I am as well, especially those very outdoorsy, kind of adventurous.
So you're teasing things now, eh?
Maybe
you're letting people in on the secrets.
Well, I have to let the people know what they're in for.
Of course, yes. So we're going to be taking you guys along an interesting path. This season would be 15 episodes long. Really excited, Kimberly. But
so am I.
It's time for us to go to our first segment. Let's see what's been trending. Is humor our coping mechanism? Trinidadian influencers have zero chill and are always on the ball though. Several influencers came out with various humorous videos surrounding the sharks being present in Trinidad and Tobago's waters. Now, let's give some background. On Friday 26th, a British national went for a last swim before his departure from Tobago when he was attacked by an 8 to 10 foot bull shark at Turtle Beach. The 64-year-old man was left with injuries to his left arm and legs, punctured wounds to his abdomen, and injuries on his right hand. According to a Florida-based shark attack file, shark attacks are rare. Last year, there were 69 unprovoked attacks and 22 provoked bites worldwide, along with 14 fatalities. Thoughts? Do you think humor is our coping mechanism? And Kim, will you be swimming in the ocean anytime soon?
Yes, I will be swimming in the ocean probably tomorrow if I get the opportunity to.
Especially in Tobago, right?
I love Tobago's waters.
Right.
But what I would say is, it really is a rare occasion. It's not unique to that situation that happened across in Tobago. It happens all around the world. It's quite unfortunate that played out and, the man was severely injured.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to let that deter me.
And again, I think the key thing is that the professionals have said that it is a rare occurrence. We don't usually see these things happening traditionally here in Trinidad and Tobago that often, Kim.
Yeah, but will you be swimming in the ocean anytime soon?
I am a scaredy cat.
Or will you be sand bathing?
I love the ocean, so I'm not sure. I do admit I'm a little bit cautious because, again, you're not familiar with these things occurring, but the fact that it did happen just, it puts a little question mark there for me. But Kimberly, I think one of the comforts for me is knowing that the pros have said
it's rare.
It's rare, right?
Yeah, it's very rare.
Yeah.
So I am holding on to that. And like I said, I will be swimming in the ocean.
Hopefully not with
If
sharks.
I can tomorrow.
Right.
That's where you'll catch me. Yes,
Great.
Hopefully not with sharks. Now, moving on to regional news across the Grenada, where we're talking a little bit about the mangroves. And of course, mangroves play a vital role in preserving our planet. These unique ecosystems act as nature's shield, protecting coastlines from storms and erosions, but their significance goes beyond protection. Mangroves provide habitats for countless species, sustaining fisheries and supporting local livelihoods. Furthermore, they sequester carbon at a rate 5 times greater than tropical forests, playing a crucial role in mitigating climate change. Preserving mangroves isn't just an environmental imperative, it's essential for the well-being of our planet and all who call it home. In 15 years, the Grenada Fund for Conservation has successfully regenerated the mangroves ecosystem in Woburn. We see images from 2009 and well, now in 2024. And I must admit that it is amazing to see how they have regenerated that entire ecosystem. And I'm always very interested when it comes to mangroves and like the part that they play, because we have so many mangroves all across Trinidad and Tobago, and I think we take it for granted.
Definitely, Kimberly. And one of the things that I would comment on here is that we all have a role to play in terms of, preventative actions and stuff like that as it pertains to the topic of climate change and its impact on our, just the world in general, Kimberly.
Yes.
So yeah, it's an inspiring story and a reminder to all of us to,
be good,
Yeah.
do better, save the planet.
Yeah, definitely. And now for what's trending internationally. A cruise that went nowhere. Imagine the excitement of vacation prep and that feeling after check-in, where reality sets in and it's vacation time. Only to be told after boarding the cruise that you so long anticipated, well, that was going nowhere. This was the case with a Royal Caribbean cruise a few days ago that had to cancel its Alaska voyage due to propulsion issues. Royal Caribbean gave its patrons money back as onboard credits, increased their future cruise credit to 100% of their fare, kept an open bar policy for their remaining time on board, offered to reimburse trip change fees up to $250 US for domestic travelers and $400 US for international travelers, among other compensation. So what's your reaction, Kimberly? Do you think that you'd be content with the compensation or still frantic about the whole situation?
More than likely, I would have had to get approval for time off from work that I ain't going to get back.
Right.
So that will put definitely a damper and rel sour up my whole little vacation time. It's good that they're at least trying to give something back, because I have been stuck in places due to airlines' faults, and all they gave me was like $50 TT voucher. That was all. Nothing else for the inconvenience. So, it's still good to see that they're still trying to compensate the passengers and try to make...
in one-on-one ways
Yeah.
as well. It really looks like they have been trying to, compensate their patrons and stuff like that, which is commendable. But one of the things is the inconvenience is still there, though. It still exists. You're trying to sweeten the blow, but it's still a blow anyway. And there are so many other elements to consider other than just the monetary part of it.
Correct.
Again, I am glad that you all gave back the people their hard-earned money.
I can be very extreme as to why some people might take like their life savings and go on a cruise. Some people, you never know, they have the last couple of months the doctor give them and they say, this is a thing that I wanted to do all my life.
You never know.
You just never know.
Yeah.
So there are extreme situations, and I hope that that's none of the persons that would have boarded this particular cruise.
I would have still been bummed out regardless of
Same.
whatever compensation. And it would have been a disappointment.
And annoyed.
Yep, and annoyed.
It's time for us to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be chatting with one of the real estate developers of The Pillars. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
There are many things that we look forward to in life, whether it's graduating, purchasing your own vehicle, or home ownership.
Yes, Renata, and home ownership is one of those things that people look forward to
Of
the
course.
most, especially my age group.
Yeah, for sure. For
We're
sure.
looking forward to owning our own homes, and of course, we're here on location at
Yes.
the Pillars in Central Trinidad.
Very exciting.
Lovely space.
Lovely is an
I can see
understatement.
myself moving in here.
Yeah.
And I think our viewers would be able to feel that sense of belonging in a space when they
Yes.
actually get a tour of in here. It's actually
Which they
really-
will
They
in
will.
a short bit.
Yes, but for now, we're gonna be joined by Mr. Anthony Rahel. Welcome. You're from
Thank you.
Amira Caribbean,
Correct.
and you guys are the developers of the Pillars.
Yes,
So tell
we
me
are.
a bit more about the company itself.
Amira Caribbean is a company that has different divisions. Property development is one division. We have property management, and then we have asset management.
Okay.
So this falls under the property development division. We have done many properties and many projects. One of them being the Renaissance in Shorelands, and then the other one, which is more recent, is the residences at South Park, in South Park. And the Pillars in Shogonas is our newest development that we are doing right now. It consists of 45 townhouses. It's 9 blocks of 5 units in each block, and we are doing it in phases.
Okay.
So right now we've just finished phase 1, which is the first 2 blocks, and we're now in phase 2, which is block 3, 4, and 5. So blocks 1 and 2 is completed and already sold out.
Wow.
Yeah, and even some of the units, even though we haven't started it yet, in blocks 3, 4, and 5, some of those units are already sold. So clearly, the people in Central like the location. It's
Yes.
5 minutes from the highway,
Yeah. So it's accessible.
very accessible. The unit itself is very lovely. It's very functional.
Yes.
One thing that we have learned over the years is that they make the living space very functional. I mean, it needs to look nice,
Yes.
but it also needs to be functional.
People need to live in this space.
Yes.
Correct. So we have ensured that and how we lay it out, where we put the kitchens, where we put the living room, where your bedrooms are, where your bathrooms are, etc.
What
So-
would you say is a unique part of the Pillars? What makes the Pillars different from other spaces that are offered out there?
Right. I'm glad you asked that question, because only on Saturday, a couple came and they looked at it,
Yeah.
and they said that they want to buy one. Right. So they signed up almost immediately. And I asked them, did they see any other units? Because
Yes.
I think it's important that people look around.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, sure, I want them to buy my unit, but I think it's important that they look around to be satisfied.
Yeah.
Because as you were saying earlier, one of the critical things is owning a home.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's probably one of the most expensive things that
Yeah,
you will have
definitely.
to do. So you need to make sure that you like the place, you like the location, etc., etc.
Because this is
So I
an
encourage people-
investment. It's an investment.
Correct.
And
It's a
long-term
long-term
goals.
investment.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So I encourage people to look around. Don't only come here, go to the other places. So I asked the couple on Saturday, did they do that? They say, yes, they did it. I say, okay, so what made you choose
Yes.
this unit over the others? And one thing they pointed out was the layout,
Wow.
where the kitchen was, where the dining room was. Again, functionality. So they said that the reason they chose the Pillars over the other units, because there are other units available in
Yes.
Shogonas, but the reason that they chose Pillars is because of the layout, one, because of the location, because we are a gated community.
Yes. And
Right.
security is a
Safety.
big thing now.
And security has to be a big thing,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? And the good thing about Bukal Road is that it does not flood, because it's
Oh,
another
amen.
thing that
With
people,
Central, yes.
correct, people in Central are very concerned about that. What we actually did, even though the site when we bought it did not flood, even though it did not flood, we wanted to make 100% sure.
Yeah.
So we filled the site
Okay.
6 feet
Okay.
Wow.
to make sure the site itself is above the road level. In addition to all of that, we have 2 huge drains that we built along the side of the project, again ensuring that there will never be flooding on the site. And from our experience, because we have been here for the past 3 years, even the road doesn't flood. So not to say that,
Okay.
the site will flood,
Yes.
but what about
Yes.
the access?
Yeah.
We never had a problem.
Okay.
So these things are crucial for when someone is buying a house. Security, as you
Yes.
mentioned, the layout, functionality, and flooding.
And well, you've covered all
Introverts.
3 of the main elements that people will be definitely concerned about. Yeah.
But tell me a little more about like the square footage of the space,
Yes.
how many bedrooms, the amenities, etc.
Right. On the ground floor, because it's a townhouse, right?
Yes.
It's a 2-story townhouse. On the ground floor, we have a living area, we have a dining area, and we have a kitchen. On the upper floor, there's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. The half bath is the one downstairs for your guests, in case you have people here, you don't have to send them upstairs to use your bathroom. You have a bathroom downstairs.
Yes.
And then the 2 other baths upstairs, one of the baths is to be used between the 2 other bedrooms.
Yes.
Okay.
And then there is one other bath in the master bedroom. So it's for the master bedroom, which also has its own walk-in closet, the master bedroom. One of the things that we were pleasantly surprised about is that when we opened the door, because upstairs there's a balcony coming out to the master bedroom.
Okay.
And when you open the door to the master bedroom, the breeze was so refreshing.
It almost feels as though you're by the beach.
Yeah.
That
You
type
saw
of-
it?
Yes, I
Yeah.
did. That feeling, that wind blowing, it literally feels like
that is something we did not expect, to be honest with you. So there's a plus.
A bonus.
A bonus, correct. There you
It's
go.
a bonus.
That's the right word, a bonus. And then you open up the door, there's this breeze there, and then you see the northern range, the mountains of the northern range. It really is,
A perfect spot.
yes.
That's
yes,
what we'll call it,
yes.
a perfect spot.
I really didn't expect it to be a scenic type of
Yes.
unit, but it ended up being very scenic.
And I mean, pleasant surprise as well. Another thing that people look for when they're speaking about home ownership, etc., is storage. People always like to know that they have space to
To put their
store
things, yeah.
their clothing,
Yes.
their Christmas tree.
Functionality.
Yes.
Yes.
Again, we accommodated for that. We have a storage area below the stairs. They put your, as you say, your Christmas tree, your suitcases, your 2 cases of water.
Yeah.
We have storage for that in your unit. So you don't have to walk outside to some kind of room
Yeah,
outside.
yeah.
The storage is
in.
underneath
built
the stairs,
in.
built into the unit. So, and it's a nice space to.
It is. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty spacious. The under. You
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
never guess.
No.
You will never guess. It's like a peekaboo.
Oh,
There you go.
wow.
There you go. The good thing about the pillars is that it falls well in range, price-wise, for banks to want to
Yes.
lend you,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
right? It's not the high-end
Yes.
Yes.
prices, it's the more affordable pricing that people can afford, and the banks now see the value and are very happy
Yeah.
to. So we had conversation with all the banks in Trinidad,
Gotcha.
and they all have said, please, yes, we will fund the buyers.
Yeah.
So
because banks definitely have an appetite for it.
They do.
Got you. Well, thank you, Mr. Rahel. This was very, very informative. I would even mention that this is a space that I would like to move into. Renata.
Right.
Functionality.
Fully agreed.
It is accessible. It's
Secure.
Mhm.
Secure.
Important.
Yep.
So it's definitely a place I think I'm probably gonna look into, you know.
Okay.
You never know, you might see me in one of these units.
Yes, we look forward to it.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. It's time for us to go to Dear Ren and Kim. So a little bit about Dear Ren and Kim. It's an advice column.
It is, and of course you can feel free to send your burning questions, your scenarios to Ren and I for us to give you our goodly advice.
Goodly advice. We'll try.
But I have the first scenario, Ren,
Okay.
and this is from Lisa from San Fernando. And this is what she sent in. I find myself in a tangled web of emotions, grappling with a friendship that feels like it's hanging on a thread. My friend and I have been through thick and thin together, but recent events have shattered the trust that once bound us. It all started when I confided in my friend about a personal struggle I was facing. I trusted them with my deepest fears and vulnerabilities, believing that they would support me unconditionally. However, instead of offering a listening ear and a shoulder to lean on, they betrayed my trust by sharing my private struggles with others without my consent. The betrayal cut deep, leaving me feeling exposed and vulnerable. And Lisa then went on to confront her friend about the breach of trust, hoping for an apology and a chance to rebuild what they once had. But instead of acknowledging that there was a mistake made, that friend decided to become defensive and try to justify their actions, further widening the rift between them.
that you see that ending part there, I think is key. On a normal, my opinion, Kimberly, is that we all make mistakes, regardless of what type of relationship it is. If it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, we all make mistakes.
Yes.
And at some point in time in a relationship, there is going to be a challenge with trust. Then you may have to deal with that at various points in your life.
Yeah.
However, I think the key is for any relationship to work in a scenario like that, the two people have to want to work on that relationship, and the one who is wrong has to first be able to admit that they were wrong in the first place, which is not the case. That's not what Lisa's friend is doing.
Yeah, so there must be an open line of communication, is what you're saying. Well, for me, I'm a little more cut and dry than you are. I think that in certain circumstances, depending on what the information was that was confided, would determine whether I want to reopen that can of worms or I don't. And that's just my bottom line. If it's something that wasn't extremely private or detrimental to me, which clearly in this case it's not. It has to be something that would have been quite hurtful and painful for Lisa that she confided in the friend. So yeah, cut and dry, depending on the scenario, what it was that was confided will determine whether I reopen that door or whether I close it. But I think for Lisa specifically, we both kind of could agree, because with you're saying
the both of them, you have to want it. Like I said,
clearly Lisa is the only one that wants it.
She's
so
the
then
only one.
I would say walk away.
I would not say walk away, Kimberly. I would say run away. Like, that's a huge red flag right there.
I think so too. I think that relationship has decayed.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any point of return, because any relationship, any friendship isn't one-sided. It's two people. It takes two to tango.
Yeah. So Lisa, the best advice we could give you, like I said,
Walk away.
Walk away, run away, girl. Run for the hills. Trust and believe there is somebody out there that's willing to be a better friend to you than that individual. Okay, scenario number 2. Kimberly, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Hi, I'm Jason from Sugarnas.
Hey, Jason.
What advice would you give a guy who wants to pursue a girl but doesn't want to sound desperate? Just slide in her DMs.
Yeah, I don't agree with the
start
sliding in DMs. Like, maybe I'm very traditional, but I think that friendships build up to a good relationship. But I know that's not how people do it nowadays.
Yeah.
I know people go like full blown into relationships by just
To get
saying
to know
hello.
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say befriend the girl or woman before.
What would you consider desperate? A desperate act? In terms of, like, if a guy were to approach you?
Sliding in DMs is like a no-no for me. That's desperate.
I think we need to clear that up. Like, there is sliding into your DMs.
No, sliding into the DMs like,
And then there's
Let's go out.
sliding into your DMs, right?
Yeah.
So like a normal hi, hello conversation maybe normal.
Normal, yeah. Not the hi. And also just the hi is not going to get a response from me. So maybe that girl too may not respond to just the hi. So
But then some people may be like, how do I get to the point of a conversation with you if not
reply
online?
to a story. A lot of
Okay.
times, I think replying to stories, especially if something interesting is going
Right.
on in the story, is a good way to do it. Build a conversation through that. But yeah, desperation to me. Yeah, you want to say something? I can see it in the face.
I mean, we're talking a lot about the online setting and social media being like the space where you
Right.
actually have that first
But if we
conversation.
do in,
but what about like in a real life scenario? What?
Try not to come on too strong again. Befriend
Yeah.
the person. You might have an idea, but she may not have the same idea.
And be
So,
okay with that.
Yeah.
Be okay with, you need to have an open mind when you're approaching a woman. First rule, be open. And understand that it's okay if she's not interested. Move on. Move on to the next one.
I agree. Move on to the next. And I just think that friendships are a good basis to start. I know I kept saying that, and I've been very repetitive in that word during this
Friendship.
scenario, but I think friendships, what is love? Love is friendship.
You've been watching too much Indian movies. Anyways, guys, this has been Dear Ren and Kim. It's our advice column. You can feel free to send us in things that you want our opinions and advice on.
Goodly advice.
You still sticking with us, godly. I like how
It's
you're
not just advice,
it's goodly advice. What Kim said, yeah. It's been such a pleasure, connecting with you guys. And this has been a fun episode, Kimberly.
It has been, and I love these interactive segments where
Yes.
we get to hear from our viewers and
Yes.
we get to answer some of their questions. So yeah, I can't wait to do
Looking
this
forward
again.
to the other questions. But we'll see you guys next time. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.